hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to do a fun fall home decor project, and I'm going to chat with you a little bit. So let's get into it. Hello everybody and welcome to my video. Thank you so much for being here. I am excited to share with you a home decor project. I'm just going to cover this box of tissues with some fall paper, and I want to chat with you about what has been the hardest aspect of leaving Stampin' Up. If you caught my Hello Monthly video last month at the beginning of September, you saw that I made the announcement that I would be leaving Stampin' Up. I would be resigning from Stampin' Up, so I would no longer be a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and that I was doing that last month. And then I shared my plans going forward. If you caught that video, thank you so much. If you subscribed from that video, I appreciate it so much. I had such an amazing experience and time with you guys. In the comments of my last video, many of you were kind enough to comment and share just a different aspect of where you're at, if you were a Stampin' Up demonstrator, if you're still a Stampin' Up demonstrator, if you had previously left or was thinking about leaving. There was some really great conversations that we were able to have, and I really enjoyed being in the comments and just hanging out with you and answering your questions and chatting. And that is why I wanted to do that again this month. This is my Hello October video. I know it's only September 30th, but tomorrow we will dive into October. And I wanted to share what has been the hardest part of leaving. And I also wanted to give you an update as to what had happened, because at the beginning of the month, I said I was resigning, and that was my plan. And then that was sort of it, right? I went on and I did some other content last month. So I thought it would be nice to update you. So I did resign officially from Stampin' Up. September 20th was my very last day with Stampin' Up. I just got my finalized email that said, thanks so much. Your account has been deleted. You've been removed from all the Facebook groups. And you're officially done. So I just received that email, and when I did receive that email, it was a little bit weird. It felt strange to have that, to get that email and just know that my journey with Stampin' Up is totally over. And that is such a strange feeling for sure. And it is also a good feeling. I think making the decision and trying to weigh the options back and forth, I think it finally being done, it is weird, but it does feel nice for that decision to just be done. I know that there were several of you who said you had either been thinking about it or you were getting ready to. And so I just wanted to say that if you are, even if you're a demonstrator and you're watching and you love being a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you don't want to resign, or you don't, you're not leaving. I know there were some comments that were like in that video that was like, oh, Stampin' Up is amazing. I've had such a great experience. I love it, which is great. I'm not taking away from that. There were many years with Stampin' Up that I was happy and doing well and excited about things. And so if you're a demonstrator and you've come across this video and you're still a demonstrator and that's your choice, I just want you to know that I love that for you, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I outlined the reasons why I left, and that was just for me. But I also was very honest about why I left and the things that weighed on my heart and the reasons I had a hard time with remaining a demonstrator. So with that said, just know that I'm not out here to bash Stampin' Up or say that everybody needs to leave Stampin' Up, and I'm not hoping for, the end of Stampin' Up or the demise of Stampin' Up. I'm just saying, for me, and my choice was to leave, and it was better for me. And so I just wanted to clear that up. Also, there were many comments about the legal issues that Stampin' Up is in the middle of, sort of directly, not maybe so much directly related to Stampin' Up. There were questions. There are comments that I replied to, and there were several comments that went back and forth that I was happy to answer questions and just share my heart with. You can go back and read those Also, in that last video, I did link a video that outlines all that has happened up to the point when that video was made, and you can check that out. There are some things that have happened this week that are newer to the case, and so those details probably are not in that original video that I linked, but you can definitely, you can plug it into YouTube or Google it and you will find all the information that you need. And I want to make it very clear that I don't have a problem discussing those issues or sharing why that weighed on me and contributed to my reason for leaving. I'm not trying to hide that fact at all, but I'm also not trying to bash anybody either. Like, it's just from my perspective, from my choice and what I did. And so please just know that if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. So what has been the most difficult part of leaving Stampin' Up? And this is something that I maybe sort of expected, but I didn't expect it to be as hard as it is. So when you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or when you are involved in any multi-level marketing company, direct sales company, and let me be very, very clear, Stampin' Up! Is a multi-level direct selling company. There is no doubt about it. You make more money by the people that join with you and that sign up to be a part of your team or your community or whatever it is that you're calling it. You make more money from those people than you do from your own sales, from your own commission that you're getting. That's just how it is. That's how companies work. This is not a direct sales multi-level marketing video. I'm happy to talk about that in another video because I do have a thought and opinion about it. But I just want it to be clear that that is what it is. It's not a pyramid scheme in the sense that nobody is getting schemed. Like, there's no, all that's happening is there is a pyramid to the way that you get paid and the money that you make. And there's many people that just join multi-level marketing companies or direct sales companies for the discount. It's why I originally joined Stampin' Up! Is I just wanted the discount. You get 20 to 25% off when you join Stampin' Up! In that way. And that's amazing to have that discount. I always looked at it like I was just getting free shipping and free tax. That's how I looked at my joining Stampin' Up! Is that was the perk, is I didn't have to pay shipping. My percentage that I earned from my commission basically covered that. When I would place an order, it would be like getting free shipping and free tax. And that was really amazing. Stampin' Up's prices are definitely higher. Any direct sales company a lot of times will be higher because they are paying they're paying their people, right? In my case, it was Stampin' Up! Was paying me, was giving me money, and so their prices are a little bit higher. So that's not a bad thing, a good thing, an indifferent thing. That's just the way it works. And I want to be clear that that's the way it works. So one of the thing, I guess, that has been absolutely hands down the hardest is everything that I do is on me to do. And that is how it is when you're in direct sales, but there is a lot of stuff that Stampin' Up! Does for you. Marketing, if they're going to have a pattern paper sale, or they're going to refresh the clearance rack, or they're going to offer free shipping. Those are all things that are not in my control that they do that benefit me, right? If there's free shipping and I can say to people, watching my videos or whatever, hey, place an order because there's free shipping, and then I can earn some commission off the items that people are purchasing, well, then that's wonderful, right? So the thing that has been the hardest, there's really been two things, but the first thing is there's no thing for me to follow. Like, I can't just wake up on Tuesdays, check my reports, see what Stampin' Up! Is planning on doing, seeing that they're doing a special, and then like applying that to what I'm doing. There's no class necessarily that I'm creating. There's no club that I'm running. There's no, even when I would get sick, or one of my kids would get sick, or I would miss a few days, it was always like, okay, you just start, you check your reports, you check in with those people who've joined with you, and there is a clear path. What I'm doing right now, there is no clear path. And that brings me to the second thing that is sort of hard, and I would imagine it would be harder for other people, and that is, it's just me. There's nobody to talk to. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know maybe how to look at it, but nobody really liked me in Stampin' Up. So I had very few friends within Stampin' Up because I always did what I wanted. I used product that I wanted. I did not buy into the storyline that Stampin' Up was the end all be all to every crafting situation. And so because of that, I wasn't all that liked within Stampin' Up. And so I didn't have a lot of Stampin' Up friends. But part of the thing that's hard is that when you have a group of people that are all doing the same thing, at least you're all doing the same thing, right? You can get excited about catalog releases, and you can get excited about conventions, or the trips that you're going on, that you're gathering with people, or if you are, what is considered a leader, then you have these connections where you can go on these boards or these groups, and everybody sort of knows the different pain points, right? The different things that are hard. And you have that. And doing what I'm doing now, I don't have anybody. There's nobody that I can call up and be like, this thing is frustrating. Now, I did get a bit of a backhanded, nasty comment about me following after what my friend Wendy Cranford, who was the person I signed up with, which is considered your upline. I got a comment saying I was just following her because she left Stampin' Up and she is doing things on her own as well. And I'm not following in what Wendy is doing. I know that Wendy focuses on some things that are different than what I focus on. And we are able to talk. I called her I actually stopped by her house this morning because I had a really devastating thing that happened with my content. I'd spent a couple weeks creating some content and putting some content together for my membership, and a glitch, I don't know, in the matrix, a glitch in the universe, a glitch in my life. I don't know. Everything got deleted and removed, and it went away. And I stopped by her house and I was crying. And I was like, there's just not enough hours in my day, enough mental capacity for me to, manage all the things. And she said to me, like, what you do when other people do this, they have teams of people that do, that do marketing, that do editing, that do, all the other things that you're responsible for doing. A lot of times people have teams of people that do that. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that is an aspect that is hard. And so one of the things that the hardest thing is that there's no roadmap for this. Of course there's things that classes you can take. I'm taking a class on a couple things and you can learn certain things, but there's no roadmap for this. And it's really hard because I feel like in this space of people doing this, people are not all that transparent. And I don't know, maybe there's a lot of different reasons for it. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm not bagging on anybody or saying that they're wrong for it, but you don't know what you don't know, right? And so trying to figure out how to do all of this, the biggest thing that I'm trying to do is sustain being online and continuing to be able to produce content and being able to put out videos and share with a community and being able to pay the bills that are related to being able to do that. That has been the hardest thing, is just figuring out how to do that and how to manage to do that. I know I talked a little bit about my Amazon storefront. That is a way that I make commission. Listen, in the last 6 years, I've gotten a $15 check. In fact, in my Amazon account right now, there's $7 from the last 4 months. $7. Like, that's it. I'm not even at the threshold where Amazon will send me a payment because I haven't met the threshold. So there are these other ways that I'm attempting to do this, and there's just no roadmap. And with that said, I just want to say, or ask, or put it out here into the universe and say thank you so much for your patience as I'm figuring this out and interacting with me, liking my videos, commenting on them. More so than ever before, I've always loved the community aspect. That's why I've said in the past, I started doing videos because I wanted to create things and share with people. I loved being on the Cricut message board 20 years ago and making projects with my Cricut and then posting them on the message board and getting to connect with people who were doing the same things. And YouTube is now the way that I do that, and through my membership is the way that I do that, and it's all so very brand new to me. In that this is the way that I'm working on providing finances to keep doing this. I've always had Stampin' Up as the thing that provided not only money for my household, right, to supplement my household income, but also it supplemented all of the business expenses, having an email list, having a website. I have 2 websites that I run, and having the funds to figure that out. Like, I've always had Stampin' Up, and I don't anymore. And that is such a crazy, weird thing for me to be experiencing. Okay, let me catch you up on the box. So I attached each of the panels, and I feel like by attaching the panels instead, it just looks cleaner. You see that I inked the edges. And then I grabbed this ribbon. This ribbon is from Stampin' Up. I don't know what color it is. I just looked to see if it matched my paper, and it did. I think it's currant, but I'm not positive. And right here, I cut off the ribbon. I was trying to be conservative and like not waste ribbon. And you can see I'm having such a hard time tying the bow, and I get frustrated, and I scrap it, and I'm like, I'm just going to cut off more ribbon. I cut off a huge long piece of ribbon, and then I tie the ribbon. I want the bow to be sideways, so I don't want it to be, let me see, I don't want it to be horizontal to the box. I want it to be like vertical, like up and down. And then the thankful and blessed, it was from one of the pocketed cards that you can cut out from that paper. It was a 4x6, and I just trimmed it down. You saw I fussy cut it, and then I trimmed it down to better fit on the Kleenex box. And I don't do a ton when I'm doing these Kleenex boxes like this, or I'm doing like this style home decor. I don't always get super into it because I know like when the Kleenex are gone, I'll throw the box away. Sometimes I do refill. You can refill your Kleenex boxes. It's fairly easy. You just pop the bottom open and then put the set of Kleenexes in there, and then put a little bit of tape on the bottom of your box, and then you can continue to use it. So sometimes I do that, but then also sometimes I just get rid of the box and I do a new box for the next season. I do these for all of the seasons. Like I have a Christmas one, and of course you can totally just buy Kleenex boxes that are already decorated for the season. But I mean, what fun is that? Like, why wouldn't I want to use my ribbon and my ink and all of the supplies to do this, right? What's that meme that it's like, I can make this, you know, it'll only cost me like $200 to buy all the supplies in 6 hours of my life, but I can totally make that. So anyways, that's all I did. I just wrapped the ribbon around there. I can adjust that, and then I'm going to add that thankful and blessed. And then I had a box of a bunch of die cuts. If I die cut something and I don't end up using it, I throw it in this container. I have them organized by, like, there's a holiday one, there's a shape one. I think I have one that's letters. And then I can just pull these boxes out. And you saw I just pulled out a bunch of leaves, like fall leaves, that I can use on this project. And I didn't have to die cut anything right this minute. And then I'm also using the supplies that I have already done, right? Those glitter leaves, that's glitter paper that's really expensive, and I already cut the leaves, so it's absolutely wonderful that I can go ahead and still use that. I just added dimensionals, and then I added that to the box, and then I'm going to add some leaves and different things to it to just make it pretty. And the dimensionals will pull right off. I didn't press them down really hard, so you'll see I pop this piece up a little bit here and there to be able to get the leaves where I want them. And then I'll just add a couple dimensionals and a couple enamel dots. So that's what I'm doing for the project, and it ends up turning out great. I have some photos at the very end of the video. You can see where I placed it in my living room and how it turned out. So all of that to say, I just wanted to be able to share openly what has been happening. Again, officially, I am no longer a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I got my email finalizing that this last week. And going forward, I am doing more of these style videos. I loved making the wreath last month. I love it. It's hanging up in my living room. There is a blog post, I will try to link it, that shows a photo of where I hung it up, and I absolutely love it. I loved being able to do that. And even doing this tissue box was so fun. I love having it in my living room and being able to display it. And that is currently the way that I'm moving forward. Is I am doing videos here on YouTube. I have my membership. Again, thank you for all of you who joined my membership this last month, and for everybody who subscribed. I had no idea that so many of you would subscribe, and for leaving comments. That was amazing, being able to have conversations and answer questions. I just loved it. It reminded me so much of why I love doing YouTube and why I love creating videos and sharing, is just that ability to hang out. And a shout out to my customers from Stampin' Up! That I am missing a great deal. Linda and Laura, I was thinking about you this last week and just missing being in contact with you on a monthly basis. So I hope that you're doing well and still catching my videos. And I also am doing, once a month, I am posting some stuff about organization, particularly in my craft room. On my website, one of my main topics is organization. When I stopped by Wendy's house this morning, it was funny. She was telling me, like, oh, I got this bookshelf, and then she's like, this shelf over here, I'm not sure what to do. And I just, in a very brief moment, I was like, you should use these containers, put this in here and put this up on your shelf, and then like that will solve the problem. And she's like, you totally have missed your calling with like organization and like solutions like that. And I was like, well, the funny thing is that as I have more space in my world and I'm not so focused on Stampin' Up! And all of the things, you know, behind the scenes with Stampin' Up!, one of the things that I love sharing is organization. And I do plan on doing something once a month where you're seeing organizations type stuff, solutions, different things in my craft room. Last month, I shared a huge organizational project with my Allie Edwards stamps, and I reorganized them and put them together, and it was amazing. I loved it. It was so fun to do. So you make sure you catch that video if you didn't catch that one. I also just want to say thank you so much for just being here. I feel like it has been the thing that, even though it's been really hard to do this, and quite honestly, it's been so scary, I feel like because you've left comments and been so kind and showed so much support for what I'm doing. It has made it not easier, but it just has made it worth it. So thank you so much. Please let me know what kind of content, like in this video, please like leave a comment and let me know if you enjoy these chit chat videos at the beginning of the month, and if you're catching my other memory keeping projects, and if there's something specific that I can do a video on to help you out. So here on the screen are 2 other videos that you can check out, and I would love for you to hit the like button and subscribe. That always makes YouTube be nice to me, and that's always a nice thing. YouTube was really nice to me last month, so I appreciate that. So thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you in my next video.